What's up, y'all? GoofyRhexxi here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 61. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here on the weekly headliner. We got Apocalypse finally confirmed. We also know too that there are going to be 4 legendary horsemen that are going to be coming along with him. Of course, how could you have Apocalypse without having horsemen, right? But we're going to talk about the event in which you're going to be able to unlock all these horsemen and also unlock Apocalypse. And overall, kind of how do we feel about it? We also did have some more information here on the new game mode, which we thought was going to be Grand Arena, but now it's going to be called Cosmic Crucible. So we're going to go through some of the quick details that they talked about there, and also talk about sort of what the impact of the game will be by bringing in a new game mode like that. And then there's definitely another really big topic, the aftermath of the Stark Armory Stockpile event. The rank rewards went out. Players were not happy. Some alliances did not rank as high as they should. And then also there were some alliance mates that got different percentages or different ranks throughout the event. So a little wonky there. We're going to talk about that, guys, and so much more on the weekly headliner update. And we're going to start right now. All right. Welcome back, guys. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here on the headline. The first thing definitely want to dive into is the fact that Apocalypse is confirmed. Been a while. I mean, we got the teasers, of course, but I think even probably about a year or two back, players have been thinking, man, what about Apocalypse? What about Apocalypse? You know, coming into the game here. So happy and excited to see that they've actually officially confirmed after the teasers, right? We got a couple teasers now confirmed that he's going to be coming to the game. And of course, we also know that they're going to be horsemen coming with Apocalypse as well. Of course, how are you going to bring in Apocalypse without bringing in horsemen, right? It doesn't make any sort of sense. Although I guess you kind of theoretically could, and then you could change horsemen in the characters in the game to then be a part. We're going off on a tangent. Doesn't matter. But I'm happy to see that now. All 5 of these characters here, Apocalypse and then also the horsemen, are going to have the legendary tag in the game. And the way that you're going to be able to unlock these legendary characters is going to be quite different. So if you haven't seen this already, quick TDLR on this here. Pretty much basically, so you're going to have, like I said, 4 legendary horseman characters, and you're also going to have Apocalypse, who's going to be a legendary character as well. These characters, the way that you're going to be able to unlock them is that you're going to have to do a new event or go through a new event called Scourge events. And these Scourge events are going to be set up where you have 10 different nodes in those events. They kind of give you a little bit of a picture of it right here. 10 different nodes in this event. You can select the difficulty level, so you can go all the way from difficulty 1 to difficulty 10. And then also you can choose different scourges in those events too. And the different scourges that you choose will apply different sort of effects to your matchup. So you can see right here, select Scourge to raise your Scourge modifier. So one Scourge will give the enemy an extra 10% health. One right here, when a player character gains stealth, they also gain taunt. One right here, for summon enemy minions, they will gain 20% health. So there's different ways that you can kind of go through the event here. Like you can slot up the difficulty level, and then you can also add these scourges. And the higher the challenge for you, then the more points that you're going to get. And points are going to be important because they are going to add these rank rewards. You talked about how you're going to be able to get these rank rewards as well. So the higher the score, and of course, probably most likely the higher your ranking, and also most likely probably the more shards you're going to get. And that's the one drawback I will say to this. I do not like the ranked leaderboards in this at all. Not a fan of it. Don't like it, because the way I look at it, this is this. Come on now, like, we already have, there's such a wide gap between free-to-play players and whales and krakens. The gap has now widened a little bit more now with you adding in the rank rewards for an event like this. I want to point this out too, as well, as there is no star requirement for the Scourge event. So each individual legendary horseman is going to have their individual Scourge event as well as Apocalypse, from my understanding. And there are no star requirements for this. And also at lower difficulties, you have a wider roster that you can use. But at the higher difficulties, they didn't mention it somewhere here. I'm hoping I don't miss it. Somewhere up up here. They talked about the fact that for some of the higher difficulties, you will have to use either web warriors or dark hunters. And keep in mind that dark hunter right now, the dark characters with the dark hunter tag only are Dr. Voodoo, who we just got offers for this past weekend, Morbius, Ghost Rider, Morbius we're hoping to get soon, and then Ghost Rider and Elsa Bloodstone. So no 5th Dark Hunter character as of yet, but being that the next Scourge event, we don't know exactly when that's going to be, or the first Scourge event is going to be, then we could see another Dark Hunter character by then. So yeah, this is going to be interesting how they're going about doing this here. Like I said, the rank rewards are a little bit of a concern for me. I'm curious to see how they're going to do that, but I'm not a huge fan of the rank rewards. I'm curious though, guys, what are your thoughts on a new Scourge event? Are you excited about the characters, the horsemen being legendary characters? I kind of am. And then also, is there a question, if you're going to be doing new events or different events for the legendary horsemen and then also Apocalypse, then does that mean that you're still going to be giving us other legendary characters throughout the year too? Curious about that. And the star requirements, there being no star requirements also concerns me too, because I feel like that's going to be their way of controlling how high certain players get certain legendary characters, because guaranteed they could probably most likely do a Scourge event for other legendaries that are not horsemen, right, moving forward. Although maybe they might just keep it unique to this, but so we'll see what will happen. They also they didn't tell us any of the horsemen that are going to be coming to Marvel Strike Force. They did mention here that if you think that you figured out all the 4 horsemen, think again. Working closely with Marvel Entertainment, were written and developed a new take on the story of Apocalypse and the identities of the 4 horsemen specifically for Marvel Strike Force. It could be anyone. They also have this little individual page here for Apocalypse, and so you can actually click on this and you can see the little bit different website. There's a video that go through some information here also. So this is actually just a Strike Time video, but there was a little bit of a hint that was pointed out by some of the players that these cards right here, somebody was saying that might be Gambit's cards. I'm not quite sure about that. Like, that's Ghost Spider right there, right? That's Magneto. I think this right here is Gamora. And that's strange. I think this is probably like just Bullseye's cards, because Bullseye also does have cards. So I'm thinking it's probably just that. But obviously, if it is Gambit, I'll be pretty damn amped, because he's one of my top 5 favorite Marvel characters ever. So definitely will be looking forward to that. But yeah, excited about the Legendary Horseman. Not really feeling that great about the rank rewards. I actually think the Scourge is in the event, make it a little unique and probably perhaps fun, but a little concerned about the difficulty level. But they are going to be legendary characters, so maybe that is warranted. But the other thing that they did talk about in this blog post as well is this new game mode. So Cosmic Crucible is going to be this new game mode they talked about. So remember, they talked about their brand new tournament style game mode, which you thought was going to be what, Grand Tournament, or we kind of made the comparison between that and Grand Arena and Swogo. So yeah, I mean, they talked about this new event, this new game mode that's going to be called Cosmic Crucible, and that right now they're actually getting ready to play test this. I think that's going to start what, in the next couple weeks. There's going to be a play test for this event here, but overall, they kind of give a little bit of a breakdown as to what this Cosmic Crucible is going to be, this new game mode, where it's going to be like an 8-person bracket mode, Swiss style matchup. Players are going to have 12 teams in total, 6 for offense and then 6 for defense. They're talking about the matchmaking. It's going to be a rating system, so it will be separated into divisions based on their wins and losses. So that's kind of like an ELO system. Players win rounds by defeating more rooms than their opponent. Players earn victory points by defeating enemy teams, which are used to determine the winner of that. In the case of a tie. So looks like it's going to be kind of an interesting game mode here. They mentioned that they're also going to be global rules every season that will grant certain bonuses to all rooms. And then they're also going to be room rules that grant specific bonuses or apply restrictions to a combat in a certain room. So this they talked about this a little bit more after the question was asked whether or not they're going to be specific teams that are going to be created for this Cosmic Crucible mode. But they mentioned that as of right now that that's not their plan. That what they're trying to do is that they're trying to make it so that you're not going to be facing the same teams over and over again. or at least if you do face the same teams, that it's not going to be the same way that you're facing those teams, because you're going to have these global rules and then these room rules as well. That will kind of, I think one of the things that they mentioned in the strike video was that, like, for speed, like if somebody that there might be some speed modifiers or speed negation of speed, or negating of speed modifiers for a certain character's kit, like if somebody gains speed up, then that would be negated in certain rooms. So things like that they talked about. So I think personally that this could be a fun game mode. I think a lot of players are looking forward to this right now, because they're looking to make some sort of decision as to whether or not they want to continue on with the game, or whether or not they're based on the state of the game that I'm hearing right now. I think that this definitely could be fun. It depends though. I'm always worried about certain things like this from a TCP perspective, right? Like, what's the matchmaking going to be like? They talked about it here, but if the matchmaking is something, remember RTA, like RTA's matchmaking when it was first released was not very good. It was kind of all over the place. There were players there were times where I would go with a 240k team, and then I would be pulling like a 720k team. They did fix the matchmaking a little bit after some time, but I don't know. I'm concerned about how exactly this is going to go off. That's because a lot of things typically tend to be kind of buggy. So it could be fun. It could be exciting. I'm curious to see what information comes out from the playtest. I'm sure that information probably won't all be easily readily shared, but curious to see what comes out from the playtest. But a lot of really other good things, from the blog post here. They did talk about some changes to Elite 6s and then also Elite 7 orbs. They made that information here. So they're going to be taking minions out of the Elite 6s and then also out of the Elite 7 orbs. They talked about how they're going to be making some room for more gear to adjust in some campaigns, so that you can see some more superior mini uniques. They also talked about adding some more gear pieces as well to certain things like the RTA pass, which I've kind of already started doing a little bit already. They're also talked about some quality of life improvements. So for event campaigns, they're going to be changing future event campaigns. I'm not sure if this is going to kick into effect with the new Dr. Voodoo campaign event, but they did talk about some changes here to the campaign events where they're going to add a new hard mode, and then they're going to shift the previous hard mode to the medium section, and they're going to be combining the medium and the easy mode into just one easy mode to then provide players who feel as if though the content that they're doing, the event campaign content, is trivial. A lot of us right now just auto it, right? That's pretty much basically what we do. So they're trying to add a little bit more spice to it by adding this new hard mode, which I think is okay. I'm hoping that they said that there's going to be given more rewards, but for the previous hard mode, if that's more your speed, then you're still going to be able to get the same kind of rewards for that, but you get an opportunity obviously to try the new hard mode. So that actually could be a good thing to just make content a little bit more exciting, because I know for me, I was like, man, this is kind of boring going through the same stuff and just knowing I'm going to auto it. There were times where if I'm doing something like that on stream, I would try to like use my not like highly geared characters just to see if it was interesting or fun. But even then, I mean, the recommendation for a lot of those hard modes are usually like gear tier 9 or gear tier 10. So it's not really a lot of excitement to it. They also talk about this auto battle feature they're going to be adding to raids, which some people were excited about, because for someone like your Greek raid content, sometimes you go into raid matchups and you click on it, but you forget to hit the auto mode. So they also talk about some other things here that are going to be added. But yeah, I mean, new hard mode and event campaigns could be good. We'll see where that goes from here. But let's talk about some other stuff here that happened as well. And while like there's a lot of really good things I think that came from this blog post, there are also some frustrating points for me too. And one of them obviously was the ranked leaderboards, but for the new Scourge events. But in addition to that was just really no mention. Like, it's great that you're bringing in and introducing all this new content into Marvel Strike Force, but I really wanted there to be some addressing of, hey, over the past couple weeks, couple months, whatever, there's been some instability in the game, and that there've been a lot of crashes. There's been a lot of bugs. There've been frustrations. There've been things that are happening, but really there was no acknowledgement of that. And that was to me rather frustrating, right? Because I know there are players who are still reaching out to me on a day-by-day basis and saying, bro, I still can't get past, Cersei keeps on crashing my game. I'm going into a combat and I'm still getting crap with like I'm still seeing the T poses, and it looks like the T poses are specifically tied towards characters that have costumes, because I've seen it with Emma, I've seen it with Loki. I've said somebody shared a screenshot with their CM, their Captain Marvel. So it seems as if though these T poses are probably more geared towards player characters that have costumes. So something with the costume is bugging out the characters. But then there's Cersei. Like, I can't tell you how many times last week alone, man, I went into a matchup with Cersei and did her ultimate, boom, game has crashed, right? So really, there was really no addressing of, okay, well, we're gonna make sure that we're fixing our bugs and that we're fixing the stability of the game. There really was not any acknowledgement of that, and that really kind of frustrated me. And another thing that also frustrated me as well, that wasn't mentioned in the blog post, was also the Stark Armory stockpile stuff that happened as well. So if you weren't, probably paying attention to last week, there were definitely some videos and messages and Reddit posts and all that stuff about the Stark Armory stockpile event itself. So there are some issues that were going on where there were some exploits being taken advantage of. So ultimately, the way I look at it, it's a glitch, but then also there's a way for you to manufacture it. So therefore, it's kind of an exploit when you look at it from that perspective. It's something that you can do by accident within the Alliance donation aspect. I'm not going to get too detailed about it, but it's a little bit of a glitch that you can, like I said, you can take advantage of if you know how to go about making it sure that it does that. And that was causing for some alliances to be able to take advantage of that, and for them to be able to climb and ultimately be able to climb up in the higher rankings. Because once the event was done, there were some alliances that did not do the exploits, that were really some top level high paying alliances that were not able to rank really high in this event because they were not participating in the exploit, which of course then can cause a little bit of frustration, right? Because players who are in these high tier alliances were only able to land in the 2 to 5% range for the event, which kind of sounds crazy if you're like a massive Kraken alliance or massive Whaley alliance. It doesn't feel very good. Now, earlier in the week, they did make a little bit of a post here. This was on the 24th. There was an issue during the Stark Armory stockpile event where in certain cases, an alliance donation could count for progress against 2 days. This problem would be corrected for any future events of this type. We will be sending out compensation in the near future in the form of a login calendar. We apologize for any issues that this may have caused and appreciate your patience while we work to address this. So there's two things here, right? Number one, it's good that they acknowledge it. It's good that they mention it. They didn't really say exactly what it was, but they kind of alluded to what it is. Now, they're not calling it a glitch. They're not calling it an exploit. They didn't really give a label to it. They just said that there was an issue, right? That's what they're calling it. Now, the frustration here is that they weren't able to fix the event or stop the event while it was going on to then fix the issue. They continued to let it go on and then said that this problem will be corrected for any future events of this type, which definitely could lead to some frustration for some players because you're kind of asking the question, well, okay, well, what's going to happen with my rank rewards? So rank rewards didn't go out at this time. When the event was finally done, the rank rewards went out. And then players who were in those top tier high alliances did not get the rewards that they thought they could have met. And trust me, that 1% to that 2 to 5% definitely is a big deal because you're looking at what, 200k orb fragments to then 120k orb fragments. It's a massive discrepancy, especially considering that a lot of players or a lot of alliances, mine included, did not participate in an event like this because this was a little way too whaley, way too crackety, especially right before a campaign event. But obviously, if you're a spender, then this is probably something that you're okay with competing with. But the second portion of this is that we'll be sending out compensation in the near future in the form of a login calendar. Now, here's the problem with that. So those players who were able to then take advantage of said exploit are now going to get compensated double for doing said exploit. That is where you kind of create the problem. It's like, and I'm wondering, like, why are they doing this? I'm assuming the reason why is because they don't know how to fix that exploit, right? They don't know how to identify the exploit, which is still their problem, right? So for me personally, yes, there could be some frustration with the players who are actually doing this for sure. Like if you're exploiting, I mean, damn, dude, like that's you shouldn't be doing that. Like you should have some sort of integrity, right? But of course, you're probably going to say something like, okay, well, it's their fault. Like they're not fixing it, which I guess I get that, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh man, it's more of like a morale thing, like a morality thing. Like don't do it if you know it's there. Like that's gonna screw up other players who aren't doing it. Things like that are going to definitely cause some frustration. But then the other portion of it is like, what is wrong with your system where you can't identify? And this is not something that, by the way, is new. This is not new to this time. This is something that's been going on and probably been, I think it's been highlighted to them since probably 2019. I've heard that this has been highlighted as something that could happen, and yet they have not fixed it. So to me, the aftermath, the rage, the frustration of players. There's some players who have quit already. There's players who are considering quitting already because of this. And I definitely do completely understand because, hey, when you put this much effort in, when you go all out, it feels bad that something like this was not fixed. So I'm hoping that they're seeing this and hoping that they're understanding how much frustration this is. I'm hoping that they really kind of fix a lot of these issues that are going on right now in the game. Because while it's great to get these blog posts of new information, new content coming to the game, if you're not fixing your old stuff, then what the hell is the point? Because people are going to continue to be frustrated by stuff like this regardless. But let's move on from there, guys. Wanted to talk about something a little bit more positive and jumping in game here. We do have a legendary that is returning, guys, and that is Omega Red. If I can find my legendary, I just want to look at him. I just want to look at it. Hijk. They found it. L. All right, there we go. Omega Red is coming back, guys, tonight, and I'm excited about that for sure. There's a lot of players who have been waiting on Omega Red to return to Marvel Strike Force. Second time now his event is going to be rolling around here. We do have some double drops, I believe, right now for Winter Soldier and also Captain America. Those are two Captain America Sam. Those are two characters that are in the campaign notes right now. So my understanding is that there was a little bit of a typo on the dates there. But my understanding is that there are some double drops for those characters right now. But obviously Omega Red, phenomenal legendary character, great. If you're looking to be able to consistently be heroes for hire, then definitely the Weapon X team is one of your top best options here. Omega Red also being used in some of the Dark Dimension content also. And probably going to be used as a part of that Dormammu arena mashup too with the Eternals. So moving forward, so yeah, I mean, good to get Omega Red. Congratulations to those who are going to be unlocking him. Congratulations to those who are going to be ranking him up. I'm going to be getting the 6-star Omega Red. I could get a 7. I just don't really want to spend that much gold on Kree minions in order to be able to get a 7-star. So we're going to wait and move that forward in the future for right now. But congratulations to those who are going to be getting Omega Red. That's good stuff. Happy he's back, and hoping that on the third iteration that he comes back a little bit faster than they did for the second iteration here. There also is going to be a couple blitzes this week. So the first blitz that we're going to be getting on Monday is going to be for Anti-Venom. And then the second blitz that we're going to be getting is going to be for Kate Bishop again. So we did just get this Kate Bishop blitz. And unfortunately, the payout rewards after the blitz were, I'm assuming for some of those lower levels, definitely incorrect. So something happened with the blitz brackets. So if you look at the Ironheart Blitz, right, you look at the rewards, look at the rank rewards, you'll see 1% here, 2 to 3%, 4 to 10%, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 45, 45 to 6, 46 to 60 to 65, 66 to 100. And then if you click over to K Bishop, the rank rewards the percentages are not the same. You're seeing 11 to 25, you're seeing 26 to 60, and you're seeing 61 to 100, which is what the old blitz bracket used to be. They're missing, I think it's like 1 or 2 brackets here, which definitely I know that there's some players who probably landed within this range. There is that 35 shard right in the middle here that's missing. So this is something that was reported to the devs. I'm hoping that they're going to be fixing this, or that there is at least going to be compensation. I haven't seen any messages about it yet. Also, I have been living under a rock for the past at least 24 to 48 hours. So maybe it is out. I just haven't seen it. But this is something that has been reported, and hopefully that this is going to be something that they are going to change, because hey, that's 10 shards for a character, and if you blitz that hard, right, you should definitely be able to get the rewards that you should receive. So hopefully that's something that they're going to be fixing. But her next iteration of blitz is going to be going around on Thursday, so I'm hoping that they are going to change that then, because something funky definitely happened there. There's also a milestone event going on right now, where there's an infestation milestone that's currently happening. There are some calculations that are out right now. I actually pulled up something quickly on Reddit that went over this, the infestation milestone, that talked about, yeah, so it kind of did a little bit of a breakdown here. Solo milestone, 12 days, 148,700. Kind of did a little bit of a quick breakdown. I can actually include this in the description of the video. Don't want to go through this too much here. This is fairly straightforward. You're going to be able to get through a lot of these milestones by just doing regular daily activity anyways. The only variable is probably going to be how much are you willing to blitz. I think if you want to complete all the milestones, you're going to have to do like 6 to 7 rotations, depending on what how your roster is built and stuff like that, which I'm gonna be real with you. Although there's teal gear at the very end of it, 6 to 7 rotations is too much of my life that I'm not going to do. So hard pass. I'll rather like do anything like watch news than do 6 to 7 blitz rotations. All right, listen, that's pretty much it for this week, guys. Just kind of wrapping up here. Some crazy stuff going on right now, obviously, with the Stark Armory stockpile. I forgot to even mention this too. There was this blog post that popped up. That's it, where it talked about their Scopely doing a Stark stockpile. I opened 19 for my 6 to 10% rank. My teammate opened 19 orbs, the same orbs in the same alliance, for 2 to 5%. Why in the world did they get a different percentage? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Like maybe maybe timing is a thing. But either way, it doesn't really matter. But obviously some funky stuff going on right now. Scopely really got to take a look at what the hell is going on with their game and figure it out. I really enjoy playing this game. I do. And I will continue to be an advocate for this game getting better, because I feel like it could be significantly better than what it is right now. And there's a lot of frustration from the community, and warranted. And trust me, if the players are frustrated and talking about it, it's because they don't want to just quit the game and want to continue to play the game, but you are not making the changes. And I think that this is something that they really need to take a look at, and start making some progression in the right way. Man, fix the bugs, fix the crashes, at least fix exploits. That stuff like that is really drives people up the wall. But listen, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are about a lot of the stuff that's going on. Obviously, Apocalypse coming to the game is a treat. Looking forward to that. I'm not quite sure I'm feeling, though, the release method of Apocalypse and the rest of the legendary 4 horsemen. I just don't like the rank rewards. I think everything else seems fine. It's just the rank rewards to me that look a little sus. I'm just not feeling that. Cosmic Crucible looks like it might be a little bit of a fun game mode there. I forgot to mention there's no time restriction on that, meaning that you don't have to do that at any point of specific time in the day. You can do it whenever you feel like doing it, which I think is a really, really, really good thing. But listen, appreciate you guys watching the video. Want to know what your guys' thoughts are? Leave it in the comments. Leave it down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, of course, like and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos do go live. Check out the links down below in the description to follow me on Twitch, where I do stream Marvel Strike Force content weekly. Also my Twitter, my Facebook links are down there as well. Join my Discord. That's another way I'd love to be able to connect with you guys. Also, another way to support the channel is through Patreon. There's a link down there for that, where you can become a Patreon there, $2 a month, just to be able to support the channel. There's also some higher tiers as well that are there too. But listen, appreciate you guys so very much. Don't forget Amazon coins. Thank you for watching the video. Until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Bye.
Where this is going, like what you're doing.